This investment Guru's tips will double your money. Just claim the offer.
Double your money from any random group. Pay attention. Promising double returns, they'll lure you in tight. Unverified groups will send fake tips overnight, emptying your pockets before you can fight.
Well said! Well said! Well said!
SEBI and NSE advise consult only SEBI registered advisors and make payments only to verified accounts or UPI IDs. An investor awareness initiative by SEBI and NSE.
Presented by National Stock Exchange. Co-presented by Canara Bank. Together we can.
Good morning, you're with us here on Business Today. I'm Aabha Bakaya. Let's get you all the market opening action. First, a look at what's hot in the corporate and financial world this morning. The tech sell-off deepens on Wall Street, even as December jobs data adds to investor woes in the US. Data showed unexpectedly low job openings in December, and it was also the worst January for corporate job cuts since 2009. Bitcoin below the $65,000 mark, erasing all gains since Trump's election 15 months ago. Jitters on the Wall Street, a stock slump in opening trade in Asian markets. South Korea's regulator briefly halts trade after the Kospi index plunges 5%. Tech sector in focus again as fears persist about AI tools hitting business development and legal companies. Another day, another rout in precious metals. Silver slips below $70 for the first time in 7 weeks. Gold loses some of its luster after rallying earlier this week. Crude oil is also down right now after Iran and the US agreed to talks to cool tensions in West Asia. In under an hour from now, RBI Governor Sanjay Malhotra will announce a decision on interest rates. A rate cut could add momentum to the budget's growth stance and the recent trade deals with the EU and US. Polls forecast the RBI keeping interest rates on hold at 5.25%. First signs that India could be shifting away from Russian crude oil. Reports say Reliance has bought 2 million barrels of Venezuelan crude. This will be its first purchase from the South American nation in a year. Reliance has been one of the biggest buyers of Russian oil in the past years. Okay, let's take a look at your screen. Rupee continues to strengthen. Opening trade today stronger by 7 paise at 90.28. Remember, we were looking at breaching 92 at one point, but the rupee now coming back into force and at 90.28 to the US dollar this morning. Meanwhile, silver has fallen by 13,000 rupees. Silver is now at 2,30,000 per kilo on the MCX, and gold has fallen by about 1850 per 10 grams. So that's also a slide on gold. Coming in, remember, we've entered a risk-off trade and also been seeing somewhat of a recalibration of those precious metal prices. So that's what we're seeing on silver and gold. Crude is also trending soft, and the rupee this morning is continuing to strengthen further after all the clarity on the export front as well. We're joined by Shailendra Patnagar and Mayuresh Joshi this morning. Good morning, both of you. Shail, let me get a quick look at the tech setup, and then I'll bring in Mayuresh on the larger picture.
Good morning, Aabha. A warm welcome to all our viewers. It's the RBI credit policy. The first 1 hour of trade will be absolutely flat. We look at the view on the interest rates and then possibly take a view. Remember, if they are put at hold, the PSU banking setup should show signs of strength, because now it's pretty much sure that there are no more interest rate cuts in the pipeline, and that will help the PSU banking balance sheet. So that's one trade. We are waiting for metals to soften and buy dips into that. So these are the two trades. Nifty, Bank Nifty flat.
All right. Mayuresh, good morning. Are we expecting much from the RBI meet today? Is that the area of focus? Are you keeping your eye on the tech route? We seem to have been steady, but the Kospi this morning is seeing a full-on sell-off post all those Wall Street woes.
Morning, Aabha. Morning, Shell. Now, again, I think the tech route continues, and the new version that Anthropic has released is creating jitters in the tech market and deep tech in particular. So I think a lot of IT companies across the globe need to realign their business models quite significantly, both in terms of adoption of new tech, deep tech, AI, as well as ensuring that the adoption happens faster than later. From an RBI policy perspective, I think the large expectations is largely a neutral policy, but the commentary will be awaited from the government.
All right. Watching out for that, just a short while to go there. Now, the US President Donald Trump has launched a new scheme to tackle the sky-high prices of prescription drugs in America. A new website, TrumpRx.gov, went online at 5:30 this morning. It's a new direct-to-consumer website promising steep discounts for cash-paying consumers, with Trump saying that Americans will save a lot of money and be healthy. 16 major drug makers, including Eli Lilly, Novo Nordisk, have struck most favored nation deals, cutting prices in exchange for tariff exemptions. That includes slashing the cost of popular GLP-1 weight loss drugs to as low as $149 a month. That's a dramatic drop in a country where patients often pay triple of global prices. But questions do remain over who truly benefits, as savings may not count toward insurance deductibles, raising doubts about how affordable Trump RX will be for insured Americans.
Dozens of the most commonly used prescription drugs will be available at dramatic discounts for all consumers throughout a new website. It's called TrumpRx.gov. That's TrumpRx.gov. This launch represents the largest reduction in prescription drug prices in history by many, many times. And it's not even close. You're going to see numbers that you're not going to believe. Americans have long been paying the highest drug prices anywhere in the world, while other countries often paid pennies on the dollar for the exact same drugs. We're taking the lowest price paid for drugs we will pay equal to whatever the lowest price anywhere in the world. That's the price that you're going to be paying. It's a tremendous reduction.
All right. Lots of earnings, Mayuresh. Let me come to you on that. We've got a whole host of companies and even index heavyweights reporting, from Bharti to Hero to Tata Motors. What would you like to focus on this morning? Where do you feel perhaps some element of a positive surprise will be coming in for the markets?
Probably in line, and expectations from the chairman's comments at Davos that there might be further ARPU increases happening in this calendar year itself makes us believe that the free cash flows might actually improve. Hero MotoCorp at the same time, I think stable numbers as far as volume growth is concerned. Obviously, the EV launches that competitors are probably doing will keep its EV platform Vida in check, but I think they've got good products out there as well. Tata Motors' weak set of numbers expected, and if you probably look at a few of their slides, including the China market, it still looks very, very tight as we speak. Negative cash flow still projected for the better part of FY26. So I'll watch out for Bharti and Hero.
Okay, I'm just looking at Nykaa's number. GMV is at a record high. Revenues have increased substantially. They're saying that the beauty vertical delivered its largest quarter till date. So it's still the core vertical, not so much fashion, etc., catching up. But fantastic growth coming in for the counter. Net profit up to 66.3 crores from 26 crores. That's the year-on-year figure. That's a 26.7% increase in revenue, and margins expanding to 8% from 6.2%. Let's talk about this one. Mayuresh, just opening bell already 2.5% higher and pre-open.
Oh, fantastic set of numbers. So I think the beauty GMV was excellent. The overall EBITDA margins at a record high at 8%. Nykaa Fashion's profitability showing sequential improvement as well. House of Nykaa in particular, I think the GMV on an annualized run rate around 3,500. And what these metrics actually are displaying is that the fixed asset turns, Aabha, has moved to 10.1. Working capital days have come down to 30 odd, which has led to a significant improvement in ROCs at 19%. So great set of numbers, and if they continue on this front, specifically, I think improving profitability in the fashion segment, plus the marquee brands that they're probably adding to, including Nike, which they're probably added up in their portfolio. I think that's a huge positive. So I think the positive momentum might actually continue for that.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at your screens. We've got the markets opening just marginally lower this morning. just a flat 25604 on the screen. Let's take a look at some of the gainers and losers today. What's making moves on the index? Get a sense of where we're at. Most of the key indices are flat right now. So Nifty Bank and Financial Services, not much of a move. Bajaj Fin is up, Kotak Mahindra Bank and Finserv. So some of the gainers there. Moderate moves right now on the index. Power Grid, Asian Paints following through. Bharti post earnings just marginally in the green over there. Let's take a look at the losers. NTPC, ONGC. So we're looking at energy, metals, Tata Steel, IT as well, of course, TCS, Tata Consumer, the entire data pack actually on the downside this morning. And that's where the pressure is coming in from. BEL, some of those defense names. So the trends are pretty much clear. So Mayurish, I think one could call this perhaps a little bit of a mix of profit booking as well as other fundamental factors, because the pressure clearly is on some of the areas that we've also seen a very good run up in.
No, absolutely no two ways about it. I think IT is definitely under pressure. What you're probably seeing overnight in the US markets will lead to some element of profit booking as far as the overall hard metals or the commodity space is concerned. And obviously precious metals are taking a beating. You look at where Bitcoin has landed up last night. So I think the fears are probably getting spread out as we speak in terms of macro disruptions that might actually take place across the world.
True. Shell, let me bring you in. And by the way, FSN e-commerce now up 3.5% on those numbers. I'm always, sort of supporting some of these new age counters that are managing to surprise markets. So it's looking good there. Shell, what's looking good to you this morning? Kane's Tech post earnings is actually down 4-5%. So just tracking earnings reactions there. That's one on your screen. That's down about 4%. Over to you, Shell.
Well, Aabha, what I'm looking at is specific performances in the broader older economy. Look at Power India, earlier known as Hitachi Energy, 10% higher. It's sort of screaming up with a lot of gains on very heavy volumes. You have gains coming into Sai Life. This is amongst the highest weighted stocks in mid-cap portfolio. So that is below 200-day DMA, doing pretty well, 4.5% higher. Nykaa, you've already mentioned. I'm also looking at a weak advanced decline ratio, 700 stocks in the green, 1400 in the red. And I'm also a bit worried about how these banks are shaping up in early trade, but give it an hour. Mostly the market will be scattered, looking at individual earnings performances rather than a broad view. So that's what we are looking at so far in the first 10 minutes of trade.
Okay. Mayuresh, talking about the RBI meet then, let's get your expectations. I know you said commentary will be important, but, banks have been waiting for some kind of a breakout, and we've still just been holding fort at this point of time. Most of the big triggers are behind us. We've had the budget, we've got the trade deal. Not too sure what cues they could potentially be waiting for next. If we are watching out for commentary from the RBI, what should we be hearing today?
So I think it will be more growth supportive, Aabha, and like it has been in the previous instances as well, even if it turns out to be a neutral policy, which the street is probably penciling in. Commentary related to liquidity, commentary related to how RBI will support growth are going to be extremely critical. Lest not forget what the budget announcements have also done. There is some element of a committee being formed in terms of banking reforms. So are we looking at some serious perspective or an introspection when it happens to PSU Bank's divestment in general? And any developments or cues on that front from the RBI will be most welcome. And if that probably happens in terms of a regulatory roadmap, both from the regulator as well as the authentication that comes in from the central government as well, I think the roadmap in terms of more foreign investments and divestments in PSU banks will be a huge positive. Most of the earnings have been pretty strong and stable as we speak. And with the additional capital expenditure pegged in the budget, the financial system will hold a significant amount of a key backbone support in terms of supporting this growth. So selectively leadership stocks where ratings rankings are strong from the BFSI space, in my opinion, should continue to.
So talking about divestment, what about IDBI Bank? I mean, that's being taken as a pretty much sure shot done deal. What do you think? Because the stock's also been running up, of course. Even just this week, we've seen a good move coming in on the counter.
So again, I think it's been to and fro, right, over the last few quarters and years. And therefore, I think this development, the announcement again, I think is going to be critical on what happens in terms of banking reforms. And therefore, I think when a definitive proposal comes through with definite regulations, with definite procedures, I think the divestment process will become far more easier, both from a regulatory perspective as well as an investor perspective. So once that clarity comes through, in my opinion, which it should, looking at how the macro developments are happening, I think divestment in IDBI Bank can probably take place in this calendar year, and it then leaves open a large part of the space for consolidation as well as divestments within the PSU units.
Okay, fantastic. Let's talk about the broader markets as well. Mayuresh, we've been so focused on the index, we've been focused on earnings and the overall sentiment turning around, momentum coming back. When do we expect to start to see the broader markets pick up? Because I think the retail investors are still waiting for some kind of a deeper move in the markets.
You're absolutely right. And therefore, I think the markets might actually consolidate over the next few months based on a large part of how the macro moves will now happen. You've obviously got the trade deal behind us, and therefore a large part of the market overhang when it comes to the US trade deal is largely done with. The EU FTA should start coming through in FY27 as all the paperwork gets over. And we are also hearing on some element of an FTA happening with the Gulf nations as well. So for export-oriented sectors, ex-services, I think this is a huge positive as we enter FY27. For the broader markets, with the macros that we are in at this juncture, the nominal GDP has been pegged at 10% for the next financial year. In my belief, looking at how inflation is playing out in the Indian context, an assumption of corporate earnings growing at 12% as a base case, nominal GDP should grow at 11% in my opinion, and therefore a conservative stance taken by the government is a huge positive. As Q1 comes in and as numbers start getting delivered on the expectations that one really believes in as the street foresees and forecasts, and if it is better than what the street believes in, I think a re-rating is around the corner. And therefore, I think a large part of the FII, FPI, FDI pool, which was showing a large part of outflows, should start coming back. So at some point of time in Q1 of the next financial year, there is some element of recovery expected, and therefore selectively leadership stock in the broader market, whether it's small caps or mid caps, should do well. So I think FY27, in my opinion, should largely belong to India.
Okay, fantastic. Just recapping some of the key numbers for you this morning. We've had LIC report a really strong set with standalone net profit almost 13,000 crore rupees higher. That's from 11,000 crore in the year ago period, a 17% uptick coming in. Hitachi Energy also profit up 90% to 260 crore. So that's why that one's moving. LIC almost 5% higher in trade today. So really, really strong move coming in. Hitachi up about 10%. Of course, we've been talking about Nykaa as well. So these are some of the counters that are seeing some amount of a good move on earnings. Let me see if Mazgaon is also moving today. Net profit is up. Margin stood at 24.6 versus 26, so not such a great move on margins. But let's see if the stock is reacting to earnings. Just marginally. Tata Motors PV also looking a little tight right now. So just let's see how that one's reacting at this point of time. Huge loss, 3,486 crores, of course, post the demerger as well. And this is in comparison to net profit of 5,485 crores a year ago. So Tata Motors PV, but everybody knows the story and how that's playing out, just about flat after reporting those earnings today. Other than that, we're also tracking Hero for you and of course Bharti Airtel as well. And I'll talk you through those earnings, but I'll just look at the reactions for you on your screen. Share a quick look in terms of anything else you're tracking on opening bell.
Well, Aabha, a very, very sharp sell-off happening on the IT space. Infosys is the top loser on the index, 2% lower now, contributing a negative 21 points to Nifty. Sell-off happening in HCL Tech. In fact, the Nifty IT index is already 2% lower. Infosys falling for the fourth day in a row, down 2%. This is a price that we've last seen on 19th of November. That's what I'm tracking in early deals, Aabha.
Well, IT is something that we'll have to keep our eyes on. Pressure seems heavy. Look at the way the Kospi stumbled this morning. We've still been holding forth somewhat after the first initial knee-jerk reaction on Monday. Pressure is still obvious, down about 2%. We'll have to keep an eye on it and see how this pans out. but the concerns are real when it comes to what's happening on the AI front and how some of these companies and ways of working will be impacted. We leave it there. We're watching out for the RBI commentary coming up for you in just a short while from now. Do stay tuned. Mayuresh, Shell, thanks so much for joining us this morning. We'll be back with you in a short while. Thanks for watching.
Presented by National Stock Exchange.
Presented by National Stock Exchange.
Look, this investment guru tips will double your money. Just claim the offer.
Double your money from any random group. Pay attention. Promising double returns, they'll lure you in tight. Unverified groups will send fake tips overnight, emptying your pockets before you can fight.
Visit! Visit! Visit!
SEBI and NSE advise consult only SEBI registered advisors and make payments only to verified accounts or UPI IDs. An investor awareness initiative by SEBI and NSE.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's not looking good ahead of the RBI credit policy. Modest to heavy selling pressure depending upon what side of the market that you see on Dalal Street. The Nifty 56 points lower as far as the first 15-20 minutes of trade is concerned, below 25,600. The Nifty Bank flat. PSU banks are showing some signs of life. There is some expectation that you will see interest rates being held wherever they are, and that's the reason why you see some movement in PSU banks, because their costs of fund will remain where it is. What's buzzing in strength is some parts of metals. Look at Steel Authority 160.2. Look at the buying that's happening on Vedant 656. You have strength coming in PNB, but weakness across the board, ladies and gentlemen, in the IT space. The index itself down 2%. Heavy selling in South Korean markets as well, and the weakness led because of the changes in artificial intelligence. New software being introduced in the US market is causing pain. Look at Infosys down 2%. Look at TCS down 2.1%. HCL Tech, these are amongst the top 3 out of 4 losers on the Nifty. Overall weakness across the board. Look at Coforge 1538, Persistent 5795. All these stocks are under heavy selling pressure. So that's the state of play as we are concerned. Joining us now on the show is Kunal. Good morning to you, Kunal. A very warm welcome. How do you see the market before the credit policy?
Well, good morning, Sailji. And but obviously it will be like highly volatile. And right now market is trading at 25,574. Expecting is related to rate cut to cater these, US India trade deal momentum. And if no rate cut is that, and definitely we may see some kind of further correction below the level of 25,500. And if we get the close below this level, then further downside would be there up to the level of 25,350 to 25,200. So yes, high volatility will be there. And on the upper side, Nifty has strong resistance at 25,700. If Nifty sustain above this level, then it would be great for upcoming week, because afterwards we can see some good upside momentum up to the level of 26,000. 26,000 to 26,400. So overall now Nifty's momentum is totally depending on the tech rate cut or not.
Okay, so that's how it is, ladies and gentlemen, at this point of time. Kunal, a view on Power India, a view on Nykaa post earnings.
Well, if you talk about Power India, the way stock has been trading on its daily chart, we may see some kind of upside momentum in this counter. The way stock has been trading on its daily chart, we have been witnessing some gap opening. Right now, stock is trading at 21,431. Further upside would be there up to the level of 22,750, and if stock break this level, then one way rally would be there even up to the level of 24,500. So yes, stock looks very attractive on daily chart, but I'm not recommended to go for fresh long at present level because risk reward is not that much of favorable for creating any long position. Whereas if we talk about Nykaa, right now, we have seen a very good upside momentum in Nykaa in recent days, and overall momentum of the stock looks very favorable at present level. Nykaa is trading at 268, up by 4%. It has a strong resistance at 273, and I think this is the third time that the stock is facing the resistance of 273. So if stock sustain above this level, then only one should get into the stock. Otherwise, we may see some kind of correction up to the level of 254 to 250. And if stock give the breakout of 273, then one way rally would be there even up to the level of 295 to 350. So at present level, one should wait and watch, and only get into the stock where when stock give its close about 273.
Okay, so that's the view that is coming in on two of the most exciting stocks. Power India now 13% higher, showing strength, but overall the advanced decline ratio is also weakening as we get deeper into the markets. You have the top loser in the form of the Nifty IT index, now 2.5% lower. Infosys is down for the fourth day in a row. The Nifty Pharma index slipping 1% down. Small cap index down about 1%. When you look at how new highs are stacked up, well, nothing in the market as of now. Fresh 52-week lows, well, there are so many. Look at Newgen Software, 527. Look at Syngene, 449. Naukri, which is InfoEdge, 1143. Cyient down about 3.7%, 1061. That's the kind of pain that we are seeing in the market at this point of time. Out of about 8 new 52-week lows in the market, 6 are from the IT space. Within defense counters, you have selling pressure on BEL 428, Bharat Dynamics at 1267. All of these stocks are looking weak. Infosys now at 1490. This is a price that you've last seen on 20th November 2025. So it's an easy 4-month low on the counter. Kunalji, anything else that you are observing?
Yes, there are two stocks which looks very attractive, not only for trading perspective but also for portfolio creation as well. First stock is Whirlpool. Right now stock is trading at 838. Stock looks very attractive on daily chart, and stock has already created its bottom, and at present level, we may see some good upside momentum in the counters. Right now stock is trading at 836, so one can get into the stock at present level, not only for trading perspective but also for medium term to long term perspective as well. If you talk about target wise, first target comes at 860, and if stock break this level, then further upside would be there up to the level of 895. So yes, for trading perspective, 860, 895 are there, and for investment perspective, we may see some good upside momentum even up to the level of 1080 to 1173, and for trading perspective, we can keep SLA at 810. And second counter is ICICI GI, ICICI Lombard General Insurance Company Limited. Right now stock is trading at 1863. Stock has already taken the support of its previous bottom, which was placed at 1800, and sharp bounce back was there. And based on the present momentum, I can say that the further upside would be there towards the northward direction. one can get into the stock at present level with the strict stop loss of 1840. If we talk about target wise, first target comes at 1882, and if stock break this level, then further upside would be there up to the level of 1912. So ICICI Lombard, ICICI General Insurance and Whirlpool both looks very attractive at present level.
Okay. I'd like to mark, ladies and gentlemen, Indian Oil Corporation. This is a stock from the PSU basket doing immensely well. Remember, yesterday it was earnings day for IOC. Early morning, you've seen a high of 180.9. At the moment, about 176, a bit of a sell-off. But remember, 4-5 days of successive gains. You've seen a price of 161 on February 2nd and 180 on February 6th. So this is the state of play that we have as of now. Banks now showing signs of support, which Nifty and Bank Nifty are very, very desperately looking for. Look at Axis Bank at the moment at 1337. It's about 0.5% higher, and in the green, ICICI Bank is about 0.5% higher, 0.4% higher, and of course Bharti Airtel post earnings, a strong show here. Look at the counter, very strong data coming in from Bharti Airtel, around 200-day DMA, now trying to reclaim 21 EMA, 2009. A view on Bharti Airtel, Kunalji, what are the charts telling you?
Well, if you talk about Bharti Airtel, right now, the stock is trading, but the way stock has been trading on its daily chart, I think, further upside momentum would be there. Stock has been trading about its 100 and 200 days moving average at right now trading at the 210 level. And, recently stock has formed its strong bottom at 1900 level as well. So based on this technical structure and weekly technical structure, I think further upside would be there. And if you talk about target wise, first target would be at 2060, and if stock break this level, then we can see very good upside momentum even up to the level of 2160. So one can get into the stock at present level with strict stop loss of 1970 for trading perspective.
Okay, breakdowns to some extent happening on Hindustan Aeronautics again. The counter now at 4002. Remember, yesterday's low is 3952. It happens on a multiple bad news that is coming on the sector. Morgan Stanley yesterday downgraded the stock. Before that, 2 negative news is coming in. Of course, the management seems to be hopeful, but HAL, India's premier defense company, not in the race to develop the next generation fighter program for the Indian Air Force, and of course, announcement of delays in the delivery of 5 Tejas fighter aircraft to IAF, although the HAL has denied both developments, but markets being markets, that's what they're looking at. Look at Coforge, 64 rupees lower. You have something like 1653 coming on Coforge. Both these stocks, Coforge and Persistent, are below 200-day moving average, in fact below 300-day moving average as well. So a bit of pain getting extended in the market. Persistent, perfect 200-day moving average. This is the lowest that we have seen on 10th of November. Kunalji, before we go forward, a view on Persistent and Coforge.
Well, if you talk about Persistent, right now trading at 5,870, and the way stock has been trading on its daily chart, we may see some kind of further correction in the counter, because stock has already given a breakdown of its strong resistance, which was strong support, which was placed at 5,970 level. Now, from the present level, counter may slip further towards the level of 5,670, and if stock even break this level, then further downside would be there up to the level of 5,224. So it clear cut signs that we may see some further correction in the counter. And if you talk about Coforge, right now stock is trading at somewhere around 1536. Stock has already given a breakdown of its strong support, which was placed at 1623. No doubt, even stock has another strong support at 1510 level. If stock breaks this level, then it may slip towards the level of 1400 level, and now that 1400 level would become a good buying opportunities for medium term to long term perspective. So at present level, one should avoid these stocks, and if you are holding these stocks in your position, then hold it with strict stop loss of 1510.
Okay, fair point. Look at Axis Bank. This is a very, very interesting chart. Remember, about 4 days ago, the counter had hit a record high, 1415, 1420 for you. A bit of selling pressure coming in, profit booking coming in. But ahead of the RBI policy, 3 days of fall, and now a bit of a reversal. So this is an interesting chart to see. Steel Authority of India moving up. This is a fresh 52-week high. Vedanta, as I've been pointing out, in strength after a fairly strong sell-off, and you have a move that is coming in very, very sharply on a counter called IOC. All this we've discussed in trade so far. Kunalji, anything that is catching your attention? BEL in particular, 426.6. Where do you see support from BEL?
If you talk about BEL, in defense counter, this is like the strongest counter in terms of fundamental and technical wise. Right now, stock is trading down by 1.5%. Further downside would be there, but limited up to the level of 419 to 415. So one can get into the stock if stock approaches this level 415, because we may see some good bounce back from this level, even up to the level of 442, 455. So at present level, one should wait for 450.
Okay, fair point. I'm seeing weakness coming in Muthoot Finance as well. This is 3498. Remember, one of the most wonderful wealth creators over the last 5 years. The PCR will also fire the long-term chart of Muthoot Finance, but a sell-off in gold, and you have Muthoot Finance now around 3500. The low 5 days ago was 3410. So this weakness needs to be tracked well below 21 EMA, and this price was last seen on its earnings day, which was 14th of November. So a very sharp sell-off coming in. A view on Muthoot Finance, Kunalji?
Well, right now stock is trading at 3500, up by 5%, and but obviously high volatility is there because of commodity prices and all. The way stock has been trading on its daily chart, stock has a strong support at 3400, and the way stock has been trading on its daily chart, we may see some kind of bounce back, because stock has a very strong support at 3400 even before stock took the support of the same, and after it marched toward the level of 3800. So we can expect the same replicate momentum at present level. One can get into the stock at present level with strict stop loss of 3400. Upper side first target we can see at 3680, and afterwards even it may touch the level of 3800. So yes, Muthoot Finance looks very attractive at present level.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time, Kunalji. As usual, it's such a pleasure interacting with you on air. Ladies and gentlemen, the markets in a sell-off mode ahead of the RBI credit policy. You've seen a 0.5 percentage point cut coming on the Nifty in the first half an hour of trade. It's basically sustained profit booking ahead of the event. We are also seeing a very, very negative geopolitical, we are also seeing a very negative global setup, lots of selling pressure on KOSPI. The Indian IT sector is facing the brunt. The index itself is down 2%. 4-month lows seen on TCS. Look at TCS in particular. Last time TCS went below 3,000 rupees was somewhere in November, if not later. Yes, it was in October of 2025. So it's an easy 4-month low, and in February itself TCS is down 8%. So that's the pain, ladies and gentlemen, that is in the market. But we look forward to the RBI credit policy over the next 15 minutes or so. Rates are likely to be held steady. That will help both the public sector banks as also the PSU banks. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.
Presented by National Stock Exchange.
Look, this investment guru's tips will double your money. Just claim the offer.
Double your money from any random group. Pay attention. Promising double returns, they'll lure you in tight. Unverified groups will send fake tips overnight, emptying your pockets before you can fight. SEBI and NSE advise consult only SEBI registered advisors and make payments only to verified accounts or UPI IDs. An investor awareness initiative by SEBI and NSE.
At the World Government Summit here in Dubai,